Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. Shout out to the true shippers in the building. Shout out to my mod. I just see E Brooks. Shout out to you, E Brooks. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Miss Margie. Hey, Raina. Hey, Miss Carla. Hey, I slay in the bushes. Okay, sweetie. All right, keep us updated. Hope everything goes good. Shout out to Reggie. Thank you, Reggie. And thank you for supporting this commentary. I appreciate you. Hey, Jays E. Hey, beautiful. Hey, love the Cherokee. You'll be listening when the meanings. Okay, sweetie. I totally understand. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate that. Let's see who else we got. E Brooks. Shout out to you, E Brooks. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Miss K in the bushes at work. Thank you for joining, sweetie. Hey, Miss Lynn. Yes. Hey, Rice Cake. Listen from the bushes working. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you to all my people that actually be at work listening. You know what? That means a lot. That honestly means a lot, y'all. Even though you're at work, you're listening, supporting. And I appreciate that. I really do. Good morning, Trey.
They didn't tell you I'm not talking to you for that stunt you pulled last night, ma'am.
Who was supposed to tell me? Maybe they knew I didn't give a damn.
Management.
And I knew that it
Management.
was. Oh, management. No, that. Hey, good morning, Miss Virginia. Thank you for joining, sweetie. I appreciate you. No, they didn't tell me because they know I don't care and I'm still gonna talk to you. So maybe that's why they didn't tell me. And it just is what it is.
We not talking to Tony neither, because I still can't believe he was in on it too.
Well, you can address Tony later on the next live we have. He said that he don't understand why you upset with him. He was trying to bring your spirits up, and he just don't know how it went left. Good morning, Candy. Be safe, sweetie. Thank you for dropping in. He's just not understanding. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all know I've been drinking my tea this morning. Listen, he not understanding why you upset. Maybe y'all can have a talk. Thank y'all so much for listen. I know y'all thought the hashtag content that matters was gone away, but no, absolutely not. Hey, it's a wrap. Good morning, sweetie. Good morning. But absolutely not. We are back. We are back. Good morning, Miss Ann. I did get your email, Miss Ann. You're part of the reason why I'm here today. All right. So thank you for that email. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Miss Ann. Um. So we're back. We're back on track as far as our murders commentary. Hashtag content that matters. Okay. Good morning, Detroit. Detroit, why are you typing in the chat when you're supposed to be on the panel? Like honestly, like you know.
He represent me, ma'am. That's why
Love you too, Miss Ann. I don't
he
care about
ain't
him
talking to
representing
you
you. That
neither.
don't mean he's supposed to be on this panel.
Yeah, he riding with his boy. He understood. He bought me liquor and stuff, not made fun of me.
He don't need to buy you no liquor because that means you might do a drunk live, sir. We don't need that. We don't need a drunk live, sir. Sorry. We don't
I've
need it.
never conducted a drunk live and never will.
Well, he don't need to be buying you no liquor. You need to get it together. Get it together. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody supporting this content that matters. Y'all please be sure to hit the like button. I am probably not in the algorithm in this moment because I did take a week off from this channel. So I need y'all to definitely please hit that like button if you don't mind. Also, please support the channel. Okay, I'm working hard. I am finna start coming live on both of these channels. It's a lot, but hey, I do what I gotta do because I am Superwoman. Do you understand? Been up since about 4:30 a.m. And yeah, it is what it is. Um, you okay, Fafa? Okay. So let's get it started. So what we're gonna do, y'all, as y'all know, we are now going to start listening to the actual trial coverage of Mr. Alec Murdaugh, who was convicted in the deaths of his wife and his son, right? So, but what we're gonna do first before we get into that trial coverage is we're gonna listen to some jailhouse phone calls that was requested by several sippers. They wanted to they wanted us to get into those phone calls. And so the whole what? Hold on, because I don't even know. The whole finder.
Hide the hope. Yeah. Oh, did you find her?
I'm working
No,
on it, sir. I got your case of workplace hostility going on, and I'm searching for the hoe.
I can't conduct a serious live for shit. I cannot. Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate that. Thank y'all for liking this content that matters. Good morning, D True.
Good morning, boss.
Now, how you come in and see you are that one worker that comes in, and before you clock in to get to work, you gotta speak to everybody. You gotta come in, speaking to everybody. Talking about how
No,
was your weekend.
I've already punched in.
So you riding the clock. So basically, you was riding the clock.
And I say hi to everybody.
So you was riding the clock.
Yeah, I'm union. See, I'm union. So you gotta. You're supposed to be there at 8:30. You punch in at 8:29. Then you make your rounds. You make your coffee. You make your rounds. Make sure everybody knows you're there. And then by around 9 you can start working.
See what I'm saying? This is what I can't deal with. So the truth, what we're gonna get into today, I'm gonna do a sort of kind of. I don't know if I have new people listening, but because I haven't covered this in a week, I'm going to play a short video that pretty much sums up what happened with the murders of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh, and then we're going to get into those jailhouse. Now, have you listened to the jailhouse conversation?
No, I'm going to hear them for the first time.
Oh, wow, this should be good.
I want to be excited just like everyone else.
Right. So let me pull up a recap. Now, this is a recap for those that may be listening or watching or joining or catching the replay and needs a little recap. I'm gonna do a little recap on the murders and the court case and everything, and then we're gonna get into the jailhouse conversations. Okay. So once again, I want to thank everybody that's here supporting this content that matters. # content that matters. Please be sure to hit the like button. Thank y'all so far for the likes. And hit that cash out and support the channel, okay? So here we go. This is a recap, y'all. And I probably won't stop this audio. It's only 11 minutes. And like I said, it's pretty much a recap of what happened, okay?
Well, now at 10:30, the rise and the fall of a powerful dynasty in South Carolina. Tonight, Alex Murdaugh, a former prominent attorney, is now a convicted murderer. The jurors found him guilty in a Carlton County courtroom more than a month after he went on trial for the deaths of his wife and son.
Queen City News anchor Morgan Francis breaks down this Southern scandal and what all led up to tonight's verdict.
It's a crime and a trial that's captured the nation. The downfall of a prominent South Carolina family after 52-year-old Maggie Murdaugh and her 22-year-old son Paul were shot and killed on their Colleton County property. June 7th, 2021.
I think the police is there. My wife and child got badly.
Maggie's husband and esteemed South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh called 911 after finding their bodies at the dog kennels on their sprawling estate.
I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay. Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
It was just 3 months later that he claimed someone also tried to kill him.
I got a flat tire, and I stopped, and somebody stopped to help me. And when I turned my back, they tried to shoot me.
Murdaugh later revealed he hired Curtis Smith, a friend and his alleged drug dealer, to end his life.
So your intent was to have him kill you so he could collect your life insurance, right? So my son could. I mean, I knew I was about to lose everything, and I figured he's better off that way than dealing with me.
The lie and shocking double murder unraveled years of alleged financial crimes and questions surrounding other untimely deaths.
Richard Alec Murdoch, are you guilty or not guilty of the felonies wherein you stand indicted?
Not guilty.
Alec Murdoch, facing charges in 100 financial crimes, was eventually charged with the double murder.
I am going to testify. I want to testify.
In a shocking twist, Murdoch took the stand. The prosecution painted the picture of a man who was falling apart at the seams.
Let's talk a little bit about the pills.
Confessing to his opioid addiction.
So you're taking 60 a day or something like that?
There were days where I took more than that.
Confessing he stole millions of dollars from his firm, clients, and friends.
So why did you have to pay that money back?
Because Alex stole it as well.
Your dad was stealing money from clients. Did you know anything about that?
No, sir.
A habitual liar.
Once I lied, I continued to lie. Yes, sir.
Why?
You know, oh, what a tangled web we weave. But once I told the lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
The morning of the murders, an executive at Murdoch's former law firm confronted him about hundreds of thousands of dollars in missing funds.
I told him, I said, I have reason to believe that you received the Ferris money directly to you, and you need to prove to me that you did not.
While the prosecution claimed Alec killed his wife and son to distract from his financial house of cards, Murdoch's defense argued the alleged crimes had nothing to do with the murders.
This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff. We didn't take serious.
But I do think there's been a small amount of yap.
Early on, Murdoch established with authorities that he believed his wife and son were killed by a social media vigilante over a 2019 boating wreck where, allegedly drunk and underage, his son Paul crashed a boat, killing 19-year-old Mallory Beach. It's a theory he testified to when he took the stand weeks into his trial.
I did then believe it was the boat wreck, and I believe now that the boat wreck.
While authorities never found a smoking gun in Maggie and Paul's murders, they claimed evidence put Murdoch at the scene on June 7th. Multiple witnesses testified they heard Maggie,
Hey, he's got burgers now.
Paul,
Hey, Bubba.
and Alec Murdoch in a Snapchat video taken by Paul at 8:44 p.m., just 5 minutes before his phone went dark forever.
Did the defendant repeatedly deny ever being at that time period?
Yes, he did. Various interviews with law enforcement.
Alec lied for 20 months, saying he was never at the dog kennels the night Maggie and Paul were killed, and was instead sleeping at the home several hundred yards away before leaving at 9:06 to visit his ailing mother.
Did you lie to SLED Agent Owen and Deputy Laura Rutland on the night of June 7th?
I did lie to them.
Did you lie to them by telling them that you were not down at the kennels on that night?
Yes.
The evidence is also going to show from these things that every one of us, most of us carry around in our pocket, that he was there.
Both sides used cell phone evidence to meticulously reconstruct Alec's whereabouts that night. At 7:56, Paul sent a Snapchat video of him laughing with his dad as a tree falls over on their property. From 8:09 to 9:06, Alec's phone records 0 steps. He told investigators he was at the home taking a nap. But at 8:44, audio in that infamous Snapchat video indicates Maggie, Paul, and Alec were at the kennels together. At 8:49, both Maggie and Paul's phones lock forever. Investigators believe the two were shot around 8:50. Paul twice with a shotgun with one blast to the head, and Maggie 5 times with a rifle. At 8:53, Maggie's phone shows activity on the Face ID, but doesn't unlock, indicating her phone was in someone else's hands. At 9:06, Alec's phone comes to life, recording 70 steps a minute as he makes multiple calls and texts to family and friends. GPS data shows Alec left to visit his mother around this time. Maggie's phone was found a quarter of a mile away the next afternoon, the same area where GPS data shows Alec drove his Suburban. It wasn't until 10:05 p.m. that Alec returned to the kennels, calling 911 20 seconds after he parked his car.
He asked me if I was sitting down, and I was like, yeah.
And then he, sounded odd, and then he told me that my mom and brother had been shot. I kind of just sat there for a minute. I was in shock.
To find Alec Murdaugh guilty of murdering his son, you're going to have to accept that within an hour of having a extraordinarily bonding, you can see it in the Snapchat, that he executes him in a brutal fashion. Not believable.
Family and friends have testified about Alec's unwavering love for his family, but also acknowledged the man they knew is not the man they now know.
The person I thought I knew loved his family, or appeared to love his family very much. He'd take their calls, he'd do all of those things. After, September the 3rd, I'm not sure I know that person.
His family was there for him. The morning of the murders, while Alec was being confronted about missing funds from his firm, he got a phone call that his dad's health took a turn for the worse. Alec asked Maggie to be with him at Moselle.
Mr. Randolph was not doing well at all, and Alec really wanted her to come home that night. She hadn't planned on it, but that he needed her to come home, and Paul was going to be there too. And I said, well, Maggie, I said, Alec and his dad are super close, and that's probably what you should do.
You encouraged her to go to Moselle?
I did.
Was that the last time you talked to her?
Yes. In the days and months following the murders, witnesses testified Murdaugh was both distraught.
Yeah, his demeanor was, he was distraught. He was heartbroken.
And acting odd.
His number one goal was clearing Paul's name. And I thought that was so strange, because my number one goal was to find out who killed my sister and Paul.
Both sides sparred about the possibility of a second shooter and bullet trajectories, specifically with the fatal shot to Paul's head.
My opinion is the totality of the evidence is more suggestive of a two-shooter scenario.
The defense agreed with the assessment that Paul stood there for a moment, bleeding down his injured left arm, and he slowly walked toward the door.
Okay, and what does the shooter do?
The shooter's coming in the door.
And then what does the shooter do?
He shoots Paul in the back of the head after he passes him.
Okay, so what did you find odd about the theory, first of all?
I think the theory is preposterous, in my opinion.
The defense harped on authorities for sloppy police work, not properly securing the crime scene, leaving their own footprints, and leaving evidence.
Just infuriated me that this young man had been murdered and there was still his remains there.
I saw blood, I saw brains, I saw pieces of skull. And for some reason, I thought it was something that I needed to do for Paul to clean it up.
Murdaugh vehemently denied he took their lives.
Did you shoot a 300 blackout into her head, causing her death?
Mr. Good, I didn't shoot my wife or my son anytime.
When was the last time you were here with them? Or talk to them or anything like that?
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
That was Sergeant Green, correct?
Yeah, that was Sergeant Green.
And at that point in time, sled was not there. No one had gotten GSR from you. Your law partners or Sheriff Hill were not there.
That's correct.
No one had asked you about your relationships. David Owen was not there.
That's correct.
But you still told the same lie. And all those reasons that you just gave this jury about the most important part of your testimony was a lie too. Isn't that true, Mr. Murdaugh?
I disagree with that.
Nothing further.
The State versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant. Indictment for murder. Guilty. Verdict.
Queen City News will be in the courtroom tomorrow morning during Murdaugh's sentencing hearing, and we'll bring you the latest breaking details live on air and on our website at qcnews.com.
All right, y'all. So that's it. That's pretty much a recap of what what we're gonna look forward to as far as the courtroom shenanigans that we're gonna get into starting tomorrow. Which part are we? Hey Tamara, hey Kim. Which part we on now? Truth, if you don't mind. Oh, we're okay. Right there, we was just listening to like a pretty much a recap of what happened in court. And now we finna get into some of the jail. Now, mind you, these jailhouse phone calls were made by Alec before, like honestly, the truth, like before the trial started, right?
This is him while they have him held,
right?
And I believe from what I've heard is he's talking to his son where to move the money,
right,
and where to find the money.
Right. So this of course I need my mind, if I got one in here, to drop the link to the Murder Murders podcast. Of course, this is where this video is coming from. I absolutely love this channel. And this is where I get most of my information from because it's so detailed, okay? So it's 3 parts to these phone calls, all right? So this is part 1, huh?
Can I bring up something he said?
Absolutely.
In his testimony. 60 pills a day.
Come on, I was thinking about 2 as well.
60 pills.
How are you functioning?
Understand that would probably turn out to be what, 5-6 an hour of an opioid. That's at least 60 pills a day would turn out 5-6 an hour. I don't believe he took 60. I think 60 would kill you.
I've been told you I ain't believe that whole opioid addiction story. I never believed it.
He may have had it. I'm not doubting that he didn't have it, because that would make you do the stupid things that he did.
Yeah, as far as the money is concerned, because he stole a lot of money.
A lot of money. 4 million here, 8 million there. You know, it was hundreds of thousands from every client he had. But let me explain something, why he used 2 different guns.
Go ahead.
So he shot the son with a shotgun, then shot the wife with the rifle to make a 2-person scenario. And then right before he does this, I'm trying to remember the timeline. Did he get his cousin to shoot him after he killed his wife and son?
Yeah. The murders were being investigated when he got the man to shoot him.
So that was to try to show the 2-person scenario, and that someone was after his family. So that whole concocted story there was never to collect the insurance money. It was to give himself an alibi, a reasonable doubt that there was people after him. Remember that he kept going to the police and say, we're getting death threats.
Yeah, because of that boat accident that Paul caused. He was trying to cover his tracks. He was trying
the whole time, but none of it was working.
Right.
And I believe his wife was living somewhere else, correct? Because
really?
The woman testified that I convinced her to go that night to see him.
Wow.
I believe
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I read that before, that she had moved out.
Wow.
Because remember, he had already had 100 charges against him.
Yes, he did.
So
yes, he
I
did.
believe she moved out and was going to try to protect her money. So she had moved out, and the friend testified, yes, I convinced her to go back because he was very close with Paul. So they went back. Her and Paul went back that night. I think Paul was also staying somewhere else too.
That's, you know what? They probably was gonna you know what? That's why he killed them.
I think she was getting ready. She was getting ready. She was thinking about divorcing him.
Because you know, you remember when we was listening to those videos about, you know, the housekeeper, they were saying how she was real like they described her as like emotionless, and like she was in so many words they described her as a bitch. I'm just saying.
Well, so the parents, his mother and father's housekeeper, is the one that sealed his fate. She testified that he wasn't there for 45 minutes. He was only there for 20 minutes, which basically collaborates the whole GPS signal showing him going back to the house.
Right.
Now, if he was at the house for 45 minutes, that means he couldn't have been at their house
when the shootings happened.
When the shootings happened, because he would have been driving back to the house if he stayed 45 minutes. Right around the time that they got shot, he'd have been on the road, but the GPS didn't show that. And the maid testified that no, he came. He was only there for about maybe 10, maybe 20 minutes at the most. Which they said the signal from his GPS put him on that road going back to the house at the time that the maid said he left the house. Now, he also, what messed him up was that video where he's heard in the background.
At the channel where the murders happened.
Yes, because
with Paul and Maggie.
Yes, because it puts him on the property prior to the murder and not where he says he was.
Exactly. It was a done deal for him. I don't even understand why he testified, but
he planned it. Well, he wanted reasonable doubt. He wanted to tell people I wasn't there. I wouldn't do this. People threatened us all the time. And then to play off the whole him wanting his cousin to shoot him was basically him saying, I didn't want to see my sons left with nothing.
Right.
So I sacrificed myself, which is also a good play for him. And I'm looking at it from a defense attorney standpoint, which is also a good play for him to say, look, when I was getting ready to give my life for my family. I was going to give up my life to make sure that my family was taken care of because I had done all these things. Remember, he had been charged with 100 different crimes.
100.
And he'd already been found guilty on some of those because that trial was going on before this even started.
Facts.
He had civil suits, criminal suit. He had 100 different charges for fraud against him. He lost his license. All those things were happening to him. So the whole thing of the man taking his life kind of played where it could be true because his life would be over completely. And they would take every dime he has.
Pretty much.
If he dies prior to those suits being finalized, it's no longer his money. So they would actually and they would have to separate themselves and pretty much they wouldn't have to pay it. But honestly, they said that he tried to lure Buster back too.
That's what, yeah.
That he asked Buster to be there and Buster said no. But with the phone conversations you're about to hear, Buster knows something because he's using cryptic talk, which means he had to have already explained to Buster what these things mean. So there's been prior conversations to these phone calls that we're about to hear.
Right. All right, y'all. So this is part one. Phone calls between Buster and Alex Murdaugh. and he's locked up at the time. So they jailhouse conversations.
Hello, this is an MTEL operator calling from Algoness Glen Detention Center with a prepaid collect call from Elliot. To accept this prepaid collect call, press 1. All phone calls are subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using MTEL.
I don't know what we expected Alec Murdaugh's jailhouse phone calls to be like, but after listening to them, we are more certain than ever of Alec's extraordinary ability to manipulate and control those around him, even his own family. My name is Mandy Matney. I've been investigating the Murdaugh family for 3 years now. This is the Murdaugh Murders Podcast with David Moses and Liz Farrell. This week marks the 3rd anniversary of Mallory Beach's death. Our hearts are with the Beach family, as well as Mallory's friends and everyone who loves and misses her. We are thinking of Morgan, Miley, Connor, and Anthony, who have to relive the worst nights of their lives in the national spotlight over and over again through no fault of their own. It's important to recognize that none of the victims or their family asked to be in this international news story. We wish all of the victims and their families peace this week and ask anyone who would like to honor Mallory to do so by donating to her charity, Mal's Pals, at malspals.com. That's MALSPALZ.com. All funds go directly to building a new shelter in Hampton County and support local shelters because Mallory loved animals. This week, David, Liz, and I spent hours listening to recordings of some of the phone calls Alec Murdaugh has made to family members since his arrest in October. In January, we filed a Freedom of Information Act request for a number of phone calls that Alec had made from the Richland County Detention Center. Between his arrest last fall and December 9th, Alec made almost 100 phone calls. Most of them to his son Buster, his brothers Randy and John Marvin, his sister Lynn, and his sister-in-law Liz. These phone calls have given us a lot of insight into the Murdaugh family dynamic and a closer look at Alec's sociopathy, which is beyond anything we could have imagined. The calls were mostly short because inmates at the Richland County Jail are limited to 15 minutes per call. The first phone call is from October 24th, 2021, which is 10 days after SLED arrested Alec while he was in Orlando, Florida, on charges related to the Gloria Satterfield settlement. Remember, he was arrested after allegedly completing more than 30 days of rehab following his
So this first phone call is when he first went in due to the charges that he received when it came to Miss Gloria. So this is when he first went in. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was before he was actually charged with the murders, right?
They were still under investigation,
Right.
but remember, he got arrested for stealing her son's money.
Right.
So they had put criminal charges of embezzlement and fraud on him, and there was also a civil suit.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they arrested him for that.
And he was on a no bond.
Yes. And then I guess they gave him a bond after the trial started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be sure to hit the like button. Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate it. Also, feel free to support the channel. Here we go, y'all. Y'all excuse my cough. My sinuses are draining this morning. I apologize.
called Suicide for Hire incident on September 4th. In this call, Alec is speaking to his 25-year-old son, Buster, who was on Hilton Head Island with his girlfriend, Brooklyn, just after he got home from a trip to Las Vegas with his uncle John Marvin. You probably remember this trip because a photo of Buster gambling was circulated online, which Buster references in this phone call. It's that photo that led victims' attorneys to file an emergency request with the court to freeze Alec and Buster's assets and assign a receiver to comb through their finances.
I have no idea. Hello? Yeah. Hey. I have no idea what? I was talking to Brooklyn. Hey, when did y'all tell Brooklyn, did you tell Brooklyn congratulations? Yeah, I did. Can I speak to her? Yeah, you can speak to her.
Hello.
Hey, darling.
Hi.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Are you excited to find out?
Yes, sir. I was.
When exactly did you find out? Buster said it was when y'all were in the mountains. I wasn't trying to bother y'all up there because I knew you didn't have service.
That was last Friday, till the October 15th.
Did you know you were going to find out then?
Yes, I did.
So you knew you were going to know when you were going up to the mountains?
Yeah, they told us on Wednesday, I believe, that the scores were getting released on that Friday at 4. So yeah, I knew whenever we were going up there.
You weren't really worried, were you?
Oh, I was a nervous wreck.
I remember so clearly. Well, I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
I know y'all are tired. I know you haven't seen Buster, so I'm not going to keep y'all but a second. I just wanted to make sure he made it home okay.
Oh, yeah, and here, you can talk to him.
All right, I miss you.
I miss you too, and I love you.
Love you.
Brooklyn, who has dated Buster since 2019, just passed the bar exam, and Alec is congratulating her. You'll notice throughout these phone calls that being a lawyer is something Alec Murdaugh absolutely values and identifies with. And later, you'll see that he seems fixated on Buster getting back into law school. According to our sources, Buster was asked to leave USC's School of Law after a cheating scandal. It is clear from this phone call that Alec considers himself to be close with Brooklyn, who offered an unsolicited "I love you" before quickly hopping off the phone and handing it back to Buster.
Hello. Hey. All right. What time did y'all get back? Back to where? Home. Like 5 o'clock this morning. How'd y'all get back at 5 o'clock this morning if y'all left at 10:53 out there? With time change. Yeah, I know, but it's 10:53 out there y'all left, right? No, we left at 9:30.
You mean to tell me this man is wasting a jailhouse phone call on tracking this boy when he got back home?
No, he's what he's doing is he's trying to get them to be uninterested in his phone calls. So the first couple is going to be boring crap because but they listen to your phone calls, but if they don't hear anything interesting, they have a whole bunch of other inmates that they have to look at. See what I'm saying? So the first couple they're going to listen to see if you're going to say anything they need. But then if you're just doing small talk all the time, they become less interested in what you're saying.
Right.
That's what I believe he's doing. He's a lawyer. He knows what they do. He knows that they listen to your phone calls and see if you're saying anything that they're going to be interested in, and then they move on to the next guy.
Okay, got you. Because I'm like, the hell? Them phone calls ain't but 15 minutes long, and you sitting here trying to trade. Okay, I got you.
9:30 out there. You left at 9:30. It's a 4-hour flight, so you really land at around 1, and then you travel through 3 time zones, which adds 3 hours. So we landed at about 4:30. 10-4. Dang, y'all have to be tired. Yeah, I am tired. It was easier for me because Dave dropped me off in my car, which was in Columbia, and I just went to my apartment and slept for several hours.
Columbia, where did y'all fly into?
Charlotte.
Why'd y'all do that?
It's just that was where the cheapest flight was.
What'd y'all fly on?
Spirit Airlines.
How was
You
that?
mean to tell me?
Man, you got all that money.
I know damn well. First of all, he said we caught the cheapest flight.
Yeah.
And they rode Spirit?
That's how the rich stay richer, ma'am.
My God, today.
That's like riding in the back of a pickup truck instead of a taxi.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Okay, so Buster was expelled for plagiarism. So there was a big scandal of plagiarism that I guess they were copying certain things and
term papers.
Yeah. So this was 2019. He was expelled for plagiarism. So I guess they let you go for one, but this must be a number of papers that he had did where they found that he had plagiarized each of them. To get expelled, you don't get expelled for plagiarism. You get put on probation if you do it once, and then they watch you. So it must have been a bunch of papers that he did because his ass got kicked out of law school. Okay, so here's another. The Murdoch family reportedly paid $60,000 to have him readmitted to law school.
Wow, money talk.
Okay, so wait, they paid $60,000 to have him readmitted. Said noted that the allegations of Buster's plagiarism surfaced during his second semester at a South Carolina School of Law. The Post reported that after he was expelled to year, his family paid $60,000 to have him readmitted. It says due to the family's trouble, Buster had not indicated that he has any plans to enter law school in the near future.
I know that's right. Wow. This is crazy. I'm still stuck on the whole Spirit Airlines thing. I can't get over that. I can't. Damn it, man.
And Daddy didn't say anything.
I expected.
Like he didn't say, "What the hell are you doing on Spirit?" Nothing. He like, "Oh, okay."
Right. He said that was the cheapest flight. I'm like, the cheapest flight? Wow.
Well, maybe they didn't notice that he flew Spirit because they were quick to freeze them assets.
Yeah.
I'd be like, they're riding on Spirit. How much money could they have?
Facts.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I thought, I don't know. I just, it was better than, I just thought it was a real cheap airline, but I mean, it was nicer than I thought it was going to be.
Did y'all have room in your seat?
I think he's asking these questions to make these people think he ain't got no damn money. There's no way you getting that in depth about that damn flight and the cost and all that. Yeah.
Try, but it was, it's just a different, like the seats don't recline because they can fit more. If they don't recline, it's just different.
So you went 4 hours with no recliners?
I'm sure you guys noticed Alec's knowing little laugh at Buster's Economy Airlines experience. Sources have always told us that the Murdochs weren't extravagant people, but we do know that they tended to fly private. Alec obviously thinks it's adorable that his heinous crimes have led to his adult son having to slum it.
But yeah, I mean, everyone's fine. Everyone was fine.
So was it a good trip or, just sort of okay?
No, it was a good trip. It was. It's different going to Vegas with young children. But everything was still fun. And then going to Sedona was a good time.
Did you get to gamble any?
Yeah. So I did go gambling, and then the next day there was an article created about how I'm misusing funds.
By gambling?
Yeah, someone took a picture of me and John Marvin in the casino.
You're kidding me. What a fucking... are you kidding me?
No.
How do they recognize
that? Man, I guess I'm a national figure, I think.
I guess you're going to have to wear a hat and shit when you go places.
So 4 days before this call, our founding editor Will Folks of Fitz News published an exclusive report about Buster and John Marvin's trip to Las Vegas. Less than a day after Alex's bond hearing in Richland County, when Judge Clifton Newman denied Alec bond, John Marvin and Buster were spotted at a blackjack table at the Venetian. It was relevant because at the time, Buster had just been granted power of attorney over his father's assets. Also notice, Alec never apologizes to his son, who is obviously under national media scrutiny because of him. He just tells him to wear a hat while he's in public, which isn't very helpful. Now, I want you to pay attention to the next part. In all of these calls, we notice a pattern with Alec. After he warms up the person he's talking to, he'll start to end the call, but strategically uses the wind down moment to ask his family members to do things for him, right before it's hang up time. The other day, a man who knew the Murdaugh family for decades told me that Alec had a real talent for getting people to do things for him, which explains how he was able to get away with what he did for so many years. Anyway, this part coming up, I want you to listen carefully.
Where are you gonna be tomorrow?
Be here.
Hey, please stay on John Marvin's ass to see about that stuff from Mark Ball and any of those other funds to put on that thing.
Being taken care of in the morning.
So Mark's gonna do it?
Yep, they're writing the check in the morning. The check will be ready at 8:30. John sends someone to pick it up and then simultaneously running it over to Palmetto State to apply it. And I'm driving to Charleston in the morning to pick up the check to the bank.
You're gonna apply that too?
Correct.
I mean, I don't see how they fuss when everything's being applied to the bank.
Yeah, I mean,
10-4.
So all that'll be done by lunch tomorrow.
That makes me feel better. So it'll be $350. How much has been put on it so far?
Dad, I don't have an exact figure. A couple tens of thousands maybe. Just selling pieces of equipment.
Well, I love you, and
Well, this call turned out to be a real who's who of Alec's money-moving shenanigans. First, you remember our friend Mark Ball, right? He was directly involved in the old jellyfish gambit, and he was also Alec's colleague at PMPED. Seems like just a few days after attorneys called for Alec's finances to be frozen and handed over to a receivership, that Mark Ball was cutting Alec a check. This check was so critical to Alec that Buster is told to stay on John Marvin about it. But he doesn't have to do that because John Marvin has already arranged for somebody to go get the check and run it over to Palmetto State Bank to apply it to something. We don't know what it is, but anyone who knows simple math is aware that Mark Ball plus Palmetto State Bank plus a quickly cut check divided by Alec equals, I hope Sled is listening to this. Anyway, Buster asks his dad about his court proceedings.
Before they end the phone call, Alec and Buster chat about sports scores, and we get why that's so important to him in a later phone call. We'll be right back.
Okay, so I'm looking up the jellyfish scam. It says jellyfish and Moselle. Okay, chartered a company named Jerkins Creek Marina. Ronnie obtained a mortgage, $150,000, to purchase a parcel of real estate and sold it to Jenkins. 18 months later, Cosby. So it was a Ponzi scheme.
Wow. Why am I not surprised?
Where they were buying land and selling it to each other to increase the value of it. The Golden Docks. 2000 for the Proceed Company was shut down by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental, who halted operating due to health code violations, and that was the end of it. No more jellyfish were processed at the plant, which closed. So I'm trying to see what. So they opened a jellyfish cup, like I guess they were selling jellyfish or something.
Yes, jellyfish jelly like SpongeBob and them. This sounds really crazy though. I did not know you could have a jellyfish company. I did not know this was a thing.
Okay, so then it says in September of 2020, Cosby dissolved Jenkins Creek LLC and all 7 Jenkins Creek property once owned by Bellware, and now Cosby and AM were sold to Crosby for $5. The contract contained a covenant with bizarre language stating that Cosby would not sue Murdoch. Cosby was still a partner, filed a lawsuit against AM that same month. I think they were laundering money through it.
I think so too.
And then
I think so too.
They're calling it a jellyfish processing plant.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't really, I guess they weren't really taking care of the place. Okay, here, processing was then set to occur in the small hamlet of Islandton, population 44, home of Moselle. Multiple island pocket articles were concerned with local opposition against the processing facility, mostly based on environment. Cosby held an arrangement with a third-party processor where Cosby provided the land and the third party ran the actual processing plant. So it was on Moselle.
Wow.
And they end up suing each other, but somehow Cosby got the whole LLC and the Creek properties for $5.
You know that's a scam.
Yeah, they're definitely up to something because the state of South Carolina came in and shut them down.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go, y'all.
Now, November was another really bad month for Alec Murdoch. As a reminder, on November 2nd, Judge Daniel Hall froze Alec and Buster Murdoch's assets. On November 10th, Judge Clifton Newman denied Alec Murdoch's bond for the second time. On November 19th, Alec was indicted on 27 counts of financial crimes, including fraud and money laundering. The next call happened on November 30th, the week after Thanksgiving. Alec Murdoch called Buster, who just got back from a fishing trip somewhere off the coast of South Carolina. The two start with a little routine father-son talk.
Hey, Bud.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm in Brooklyn's condo.
I get one in a minute. Oh, yeah? You stayed there last night?
I did.
Well, good. How's she doing?
She's good.
Did she have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Well, good. Tell me about the fishing trip.
It was good.
How many did y'all catch?
We caught a sailfish and a couple tuna.
Blackfin?
Yeah.
No wahoo?
No wahoo.
But I mean, when you fishing on a boat like that, it don't. I mean, even if you ain't catching nothing, you're doing pretty good, ain't you?
They go back and forth about the fishing trip for a few. Buster seems a little short with his father and starts to sound annoyed as Alec turns the conversation to Buster making arrangements to re-enroll in law school in January.
Hey, Bus, not trying to bug you, babe, but you got to get that thing reset with law school.
I sent an email to Hubbard this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. Is everything else okay?
Yeah. What have you been
All right. Now, well, no, you talked to me Friday.
I did?
Yeah, I thought you did when you got back to... No, that's right, because it was Thursday afternoon. We were on lockdown Friday.
Alec then starts asking Buster about his financial situation. This call is one that later gets referenced by Prosecutor Creighton Waters during Alec's bond reconsideration hearing as evidence that Alec hasn't stopped his financial shuffling behind bars.
I told John to give you money until I get everything sorted out where I'm paying back. Has he?
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't really needed any money.
Yeah, but you got to pay rent and all.
Well, the one time I paid rent, tomorrow there, so I can ask them for money.
Say that again. One time you paid rent, what?
Well, I mean, one time I paid rent, it was out of my account, but I have to pay it against farm, so I can ask him for money tomorrow.
Do you feel uncomfortable asking him?
No, it's not uncomfortable. It's just, I mean, it's not very fair.
It's the trying to make it seem like they just dirt poor at this point. Because for one, they got money. They hide money, and I think they're doing this on these phone calls to make the the courts or the people who ever listening feel like they broke. It's just too much emphasis on the whole money and needing money, and you're gonna be able to afford this and you're gonna be able to afford that. I'm just saying, that's just I don't understand.
Well, but I mean, I've got him keeping up with all of it, so I can pay him back.
I understand.
You don't worry about that. I mean, I've even asked him if he wanted me to do other things, because there's other options, and he's absolutely said, I mean, I've talked to him at length about this, so he said he's glad to do it, so don't be bashful.
Now here, Alec is telling his son Buster to go to John Marvin, Alec's brother and Buster's uncle, to ask for money. Mind you, Buster is 25 years old with a full-time job at Wild Wing Cafe corporate offices as a recruiter. Notice that Alec is not acting like he is impecunious, as his attorneys have said, but rather he insists that there is money there and he has quote-unquote options, whatever those were.
Okay? And Buster, you need to get ready for this law school now, okay?
I understand.
I mean, you got to really buckle down, and you got to treat it like a job. You're going to have to read these cases 2 and 3 times if you don't fully understand them. I mean, you're going to have to treat it like a job.
I understand.
You promise?
Yes.
Because you know there's not going to be another chance.
I know.
I mean, no way, shape, or form is there going to be another chance.
I understand.
You do truly understand that?
Yes.
Oh, God.
All right. All right, so you going to be on the road this afternoon?
Yes.
Hopefully I will be able to call again. Hopefully Jim's supposed to come by and meet with him. I'm trying to get the finances straight with him, and then I got to talk to John and see whether we're going to do a loan, and then I'm going to pay it back out of the account later, or we're going to have a letter from an opinion from a lawyer who does retirement accounts that rolling it over. Because, I mean, if you pay interest on something for, let's see, 6 years, it could end up being more than the penalty. But we got to make sure the penalty doesn't open it up to creditors. I mean, you're going to need that money.
If there ever truly was a question about whether or not Dick and Jim were getting paid for representing Alec in this mess, there is your answer. And then at the end of the conversation, Alec again asked Buster to do something for him.
All right. Well, please tell Brooklyn hello.
Okay.
Did you by chance talk to Grandma or Papa T?
I did mention it to him, and I told him that I never really got a private moment with him. I didn't want to keep talking about it in front of people, but I did mention it to him, and they said that they would like to do it, but they were concerned that they wouldn't be able to figure it out via the phone.
Well, if you think they really would rather wait until I get out, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I understand.
Okay.
What's your opinion?
No, I don't have an opinion. I tried to talk to him about it, but he was always around the entire family, and I didn't really.
You tried what now?
So I tried to talk to him about it, but we were never not around the entire group of the family. So I didn't really feel like talking about it in front of everybody.
I understand.
So we're not entirely sure what this is about, but it seems sketchy. It seems like Alec is asking Buster whether he has spoken with Grandma and Papa T, who we're told are Bangy's parents. Buster seems uncomfortable. Clearly, whatever Alec wanted him to ask them about is something Buster doesn't want to bring up in front of other family members. Since Alec's entire world seems to be about money, it would not be a stretch to think that he might be instructing Buster to talk to his other grandparents about finances. The next day, on Wednesday, December 1st, Alec called Buster again. Alec starts by bragging about winning jail bets on NFL games.
All right, hold on.
All right, hold on. Go ahead.
I found the connection with the drug dealing.
Oh, wow. What is it?
Okay. A Beaufort County island co-owned by disgraced and disbarred South Carolina attorney Richard Alex Murdoch and a deceased drug smuggler suspect is up for sale. So he owned an island off of the estate.
Mm-hmm.
That him and a deceased drug smuggling suspect who happened to die before they could convict him, owned together, and they were putting it up for sale to be part of the settlement fund for the alleged victims.
So you mean to tell me it's a possibility he off that man too?
It says deceased drug smuggling suspect is up for sale, and I guess he was the.
And that's the only way he would be able to put it up for sale, and the money goes to him if the man was dead.
Well, he's dead.
Oh God!
And
Come
deceased
on!
drug smuggling suspect is up for sale.
Not another body.
Pending court approval.
Oh God! See, I ain't gonna be able to do it. It's like these people are serial killers. I'm sorry. At this point.
Charlotte, am I waking you up? No, it's not. It's only 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock? Yeah. Hey, I hit 9 out of 11 games on Sunday on the pro games. Well, I missed the Eagles and I missed the Steelers. The Eagles were 3.5-point favorites over the Giants, and they lost. And the Steelers were 4.5-point underdogs to the Bengals, and they lost by 20. But I hit 9 out of 11. That's pretty damn hard. Yeah. I won like 6 soups, 4 beef sticks, bunch of crackers, cookie, a bunch of canteen shit. Well, that's good. There was like 13 of us playing. Everybody put in something, Right. I won 13 things. So anyway, how you doing?
Obviously, Alec appears to be hustling in jail. Maybe he's bored. Maybe his real addiction is just breaking the rules. Whatever it is, he sure was proud about those beef sticks. Alec then asked Buster if he's talked to his attorney, Jim Griffin, about his habeas corpus petition that was filed on November 10th, after Judge Newman denied Alec bond for a second time. Note that Alec sounds like he's just learned a new fun fact about the law.
Jim, have you talked to Jim lately? I haven't. John Marvin talked to Jim today. Did he tell you about them expediting this thing? Expediting what? This appeal. It's called habeas corpus, and it deals with a constitutional issue. You have a constitutional right to bail for any non-capital offense. And so when he denied bond, they filed a habeas corpus petition, and the Supreme Court first said they weren't going to expedite it. Then they wrote back and gave the Attorney General 10 days to respond. You would assume, or at least the lawyers assume, that if they weren't going to do something, they would just let it sit. But I mean, I don't get my hopes up, but they seem to have their hopes up. I hear you.
It would seem that Dick and Jim did get Alec's hopes up over nothing. Spoiler alert. The Supreme Court denied the writ of habeas corpus in January after Judge Lee set Alec's bond at $7 million. It is interesting to note that Dick and Jim thought they had a shot with the Supreme Court, and it makes you wonder why they had that assurance. Anyways, on a phone call, Buster then tells Alec that John Marvin is trying to get his guns back from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, also known as SLED.
What else did he tell John? John said that he was going to talk to me about something, but said he'd go to talk to me about it in person. That's probably what it was. No, that wouldn't be it. That wouldn't make sense. Why you want to talk to you about that in person? But mostly, I've had John calling David Owens every day to try to get my guns back. And prior to Thanksgiving, David Owens said that we could have them back, and then today he said he couldn't have them back. So that's what John was calling to tell me. And then he called and told Jim what David Owens said about not being able to get them. I wonder why. John said that he used the language out of an abundance of caution. And then John said, well, have you not run the ballistics on them? And apparently he was like, no, we have. And he was like, well, were these guns used in the crime? And they were like, no. And I was like, and he was like, well, why can't we have them back? So I don't know. I've just been trying to get some of my stuff back.
From this conversation, it sounds like Alec is trying to sell off expensive tools and machinery so that the victims can't claim them as assets. In October, Alec's brother Randy filed a lawsuit claiming that Alec owed him $90,000 and wrote in the suit that he had been paid back in part by equipment that Buster had signed over to him.
Hey, John Marvin needs to go. You know that vacuum packer that John Marvin lent us to send the skinning shed?
No, that huge one?
Yeah. He needs to go pick that up.
Okay.
It's for before they, take it like, think it's mine.
Yeah.
All the bar, there's a bunch of John Marvin's tools in the shop. I told him he needs to get out. All those Milwaukee tools, all those jacks, all that stuff. Borrowed, and I borrowed a lot of it too.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna be down in Greenfield this weekend. Hunt quail, and he talked about going over the Moselle and getting some of that stuff.
Then Alex starts asking questions about Blanca. According to sources, Blanca was Maggie's housekeeper at the Edisto Beach House, where Maggie was staying by herself before the murders.
Next time you're on the phone.
I'll have a
Maggie was staying at the beach house, huh?
Yes, separated from him.
Maggie was finna flip. That's why he killed her. She was finna flip.
I wonder if she was going to flip on all those fraud charges, because remember, she could also be charged because her name is on the accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So she would be called an accessory because she was reaping the benefits of the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. This is a lot. Thank y'all for joining. Thank you, Miss Gloria. Y'all please hit the like button if you don't mind, and feel free to support the channel. Thank you.
No, I still haven't called Blanca. I keep forgetting to call Blanca.
Okay, do you want me to get somebody else to do it?
No, man, I'm fine to do it. It's just, I don't know. For some reason, I keep forgetting.
Okay, well, are you going to remember for me? Because I'd like to call her soon. And I don't mind getting somebody else to do it.
A lot of damn demands. Won't you call these people yourself? You got money on your books. I mean, damn, he putting stress on that young man. He's selfish.
I know you got a lot going on.
No, I mean, do you have Blanca's number?
No, that's what I said. I told you I got to get her number, and I wanted you to let her know I'm going to be calling.
Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
And make sure that she's good with that, number one. And number two, kind of tell her what she's got to do.
Simple. Okay, well, yeah, I'll reach out.
Will you please do that in the morning?
Yes.
And will you please tell her that I'd asked you to do it before Thanksgiving and you just had a lot going on and forgot?
Yeah.
You promise?
Hey.
I think they want her to start cleaning up the house.
Wow.
And they want her to pack all the stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want to sell it.
Mm.
It's probably one of the things, because remember, it's the beach house.
Yeah, it's where Maggie was staying.
Yeah, he's going to try to sell it before the courts take it. Because the courts will just get whatever they get. If he sells it, he may be able to recoup some of that money, and he may be able to make a side deal. See what I'm saying? If somebody comes to you and says, and you're asking 1.7 million, well, he may be able to turn to him and say, look, give me 1.2 and then give me 2 million on the side, and I'll say I sold it to you for 1.2. So instead of the 1.7 or 1.8 that he would sell it for, he's going to get 1.4, but only tell them he sold it for 1.2, and he can pocket some money. So he's trying to coordinate. That's why he's trying to sell all these things prior to the court taking him, because once the court takes it, they're going to sell it and know exactly how much it's sold for.
Wow.
So he can't do any side deals to pocket some of the money.
Still committing crimes in jail. Ain't that some shit? I'm just saying.
I promise I'm gonna try, though.
I
feel confident that I should remember tomorrow.
I know you had said you didn't really want. I mean, she had irritated you, and if you don't want to call her, I promise you I'll get Lizzie or Grandma or somebody else.
So we don't know what's going on here, but Alex seems really determined to get a hold of Blanca. From our sources, we know that Alex seeks to control the narrative, and he puts himself square in the face of people he's trying to persuade or even just monitor. Before he was in jail, Alec was known for having sit-down talks with people who might have a reason to be upset with him or his family. These sit-downs, according to my sources, were a classic manipulation tactic that Alec frequently used. Alec then changes the subject to apparently one of his favorite topics, Buster's future in law school.
Did you hear from the D? No, I was checking my email all day today. I emailed him beginning of this week, and I haven't heard back. I emailed him and hold on, you did what? I emailed him and I CC'd the associate dean, and I haven't heard back yet. Okay, if you don't hear today, this is.
He ain't even asking me about this shit, and this irritating me. So you can imagine how Buster, cause see, Buster don't want to go back to law school. Buster don't want to go back. And then you got him doing all this other shit. He got all this shit. The boy that lost his mama's brother, you locked up. You got him doing all this other crap. Come on, bro.
Monday, you did it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tomorrow, you might just shoot a follow-up. Yeah, I mean, if I don't hear from him, I'm definitely shooting a follow-up later this week. Tomorrow? And if I don't hear from him, I might get in touch with Butch to see if you can call him and say that I've been trying to get in touch with him. All right. Is Butch paid all the money that he was owed? Yes. Okay. Up front, and it was up front, and it was 30 grand up front and 30. I know, with it was contingency on if it was successful. I'm just making sure I don't want to call him if he not have the shit he has. Is straight out. Nah, he knows he's totally paid. I mean, would he be willing to do something like that, you think? Absolutely. But I would do it yourself first. I just say, hey, just following up, for the holiday. No, I will. If you got to answer by the back end of this week and we get into the middle of next week, then something that would be done for me to reach. That's what I'm saying. When do classes start? January the 5th. 5th? Yeah, that's why you need to send it tomorrow. And if you haven't heard from him by Friday, and I'd say something real nice, just like, hey, just following up on my email. I know this is a busy time of year, but was hoping we could meet soon, just like that. We could get a meeting set soon. Yeah. Or a reset soon is what I'd say. And then just say thank you for your attention. Something real nice like that. But you ought to send it tomorrow to give him a chance to respond to you Friday.
This conversation reveals something disturbing that we are looking into. Alec and Buster refer to Butch, who we've been told is Butch Bowers, a highly influential Columbia attorney from Hampton County. Butch has represented our state's governors, including Henry McMaster, and State Senator Lindsey Graham recommended him to be a member of President Trump's impeachment team. He is incredibly connected to the University of South Carolina. Another fun fact about Butch, his father and namesake, Carl S. Bowers Sr., was an ex-con. He was federally indicted in 1980 on 15 counts related to the fraudulent sale of homes in Hampton County. He was found guilty of tax evasion and served time in prison. Then, the good old boys named a bridge after him. Not just a bridge, but one of the bridges to one of the state's most important sources of tourist revenue, Hilton Head Island. Butch's father was also awarded the Order of the Palmetto, which is supposed to be the state's most prestigious award. You might remember that Alec's father was also awarded the Order of the Palmetto. If you haven't noticed it by now, good old boys really like to give trophies to other good old boys. Anyway, it seems like Alec has paid Butch Bowers $60,000 to do something in connection with Buster's readmittance to law school, but it's not clear what. Alec encourages Buster to write an email to Dean Hubbard, who is William Hubbard. William Hubbard is a former colleague of Bowers at the politically powerful Nelson Mullins Riley Scarborough law firm.
Call Butch. I call him late Friday afternoon, and that way he can be prepared to call them first thing Monday morning. Are you willing to do that? Yeah, I'm the one that came up with the idea of this telephone call. Buster, there's so many things I gotta tell y'all when I get out of here. Lord have mercy. This something else. But anyway, I love you. All right, love you too. I hope you know how proud of you I am. Yes, sir. You hear me? I do. I don't want to talk to you soon. All right, bye. Love you more. Bye.
This is the only time.
I have another timeline. thing. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
September 18th, the newspaper releases his younger brother, John Marvin Murdoch, was on the other end of the phone line delivering the unwelcome news that the family storied law firm founded by the great-grandfather in 1910 has dissolved, ditched the Murdoch monarchy, and regrouped under another name.
What?
John Marvin then relayed that one of Alex's closest friends, Corey Fleming, had been fired from his Buford law firm after the state Supreme Court suspended his license,
Wow.
all due to ties with Alex Murdoch. Once prominent attorney, he's now in jail. Now remember, this is after he had been accused of murdering his wife and son.
Mm-hmm.
So they're implementing the law firm now. Now, remember, he had 90 criminal charges brought against him and 11 lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also implementing his law firm in all of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's another guy that was convicted of helping Murdoch steal the money, who's in jail right now.
Wow. Wow.
So this is as of September 18th. And I guess one of the later phone calls you're going to hear him say, I'm sorry, but they've dissolved the law firm.
Shit, ain't had no choice. That law firm was in trouble. Uh-huh. Wow.
I thought that was very, very interesting.
It is.
I'm pulling up little things to give people a little insight on how much he caused and how much destruction.
Yeah, he pretty much destroyed a lot of people.
Yeah, but I have another thing. He sounds really good for somebody that was taking 60 pills a day.
Yeah, ain't he supposed to be suffering from withdrawal, acting like Pookie? He's supposed to be acting like Pookie from New Jack City when he was detoxing.
Didn't they take him out of a rehab center?
Yeah, well, actually, he left the rehab center and came to court. I don't know if he was released or he just left. I don't know. But he was in a rehab when he went to go face the charges. So, yeah.
So he didn't even fully do a complete rehab.
No.
60 pills a day, and you just sitting back walking and talking like they ain't
They
nothing
did,
wrong.
right, Kate? They dissolved it under the previous name and started it back up under another name, right, Kate? Yeah, they dissolved it under the previous name and then just, reinvented it under another name. Good morning, love baby. Good morning. Thank you for joining at work in the bushes. Okay,
So they entered another law firm. So what they dissolved the name of that one and then entered into another law firm together.
Mm-hmm.
So the lawyers that were there got rid of the Murdoch name and just entered another law firm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
but what I'm saying about you didn't even finish a rehab, and whatever you were taking those pills for must not be hurting you very much in jail.
Me neither, Tamara. He couldn't function with that. Me neither, Tamara.
But I'm saying,
opioids? No.
Whatever he was taking, because he had to be in some kind of pain to take those pills, or something must be wrong with him, maybe his back or whatever. But it doesn't sound like it. I know he ain't getting that in jail.
Come on.
And he hasn't complained about it once.
Not once. About being in any pain or anything, suffering from withdrawal or anything.
Yeah, like he hasn't complained once about how they're not giving me any medicine, my back or my knees or whatever, my hip, whatever. He's never complained to the people he should be complaining to about his treatment, and they're not taking care of him, and he's in a lot of pain. Not once do you hear that. I haven't heard it. That's 3 phone calls so far, and not once has he ever said, they're not taking care of him, because they're the ones that would petition the court. And say, hey, they're not taking care of him. He's in a lot of pain, blah, blah, blah. We need to move him to a hospital.
Yeah.
None of this is happening. For 60 pills a day, 5 days ain't cleaning you. 60 pills a day, 5 days ain't cleaning you.
That's a lot.
That-
That is a. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Here we go, y'all.
Calls that we got that Alex says that he's proud of Buster, and it appears to be while they're talking about some shady money shuffling in order to get him back into law school. We'll be right back. On the same day, December 1st, Alec called his brother John Marvin. John Marvin reminds Alec that he is cautious about talking over the phone with Buster, which indicates to us that he's wary of his phone being tapped for some reason.
No, everything's good. You know, I just, when we start talking about things over the phone, it always bothers me because I don't know if it's just on this phone tonight. Especially this phone, so remember that.
Then Alec gets a little cryptic. He mentions a financial situation.
Shout out to Love Baby. Thank you, Love Baby, for supporting the content. I appreciate you, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Involving Jim and Dick, his attorneys, as well as a mysterious letter.
I've got to get this finance stuff straight with Jim and Dick. I put some thought into it, and I want you to have. Will you have that letter with you tomorrow when I call you?
No, but I'll see if I can figure it out. That letter really was nothing more than saying that
Good morning,
that they had received a request to look into it. It didn't say that it was being moved. It didn't say anything.
How you doing, Jizzle?
So I'll try to find that letter.
Find that.
Text me.
Try to read it to me, and I'm gonna talk to you about this other stuff, and let's figure out. I think I about figured it out, but let's figure out what to do, because I'm not going to be able to talk but about another minute.
After getting off the phone with John Marvin on December 1st, Alec called their older brother Randy Murdoch. Now remember, Randy, who is also an attorney at the firm, is currently suing Alec for $90,000 of alleged unpaid debt. We say alleged because this lawsuit was seen as a scheme to help Alec retain his assets and keep them away from victims. On this phone call, the two brothers do not act like one of them just sued the other for unpaid money. They are downright chummy with each other. Also, Alec talks about another of his...
They got to know what that is. Your brother ain't suing you. Your brother not suing you. Come on now. It's just like the whole thing with Glorious Boys suing him.
Favorite jail phone topics, his workouts.
I'll tell you what I started doing, you'd be proud of me. I really started exercising pretty dang hard. I was like almost 2 hours and 40 minutes today, just because we were shut in the room this morning. But I've been like an hour and 15 or 20 minutes a day.
Yeah, but that's good. That's very good.
This is the start of I started on Friday the 12th. And I can tell a distinct difference already. You know, when I hadn't exercised in 25 years.
Yeah, but hey, me either, actually.
And and both laying around in rehab, and then really for 38 days I did very little. The last about 7 I was up a lot more, but I still wasn't doing anything strenuous. So that's a month and a week. And then when I came in here,
he sounds as if he's used to serving time.
It be the conversation for me.
He making the best of his time. He like, I'm on vacation, G. You can't let the time do you.
Child.
She thought I was getting out on the 19th, so I didn't do anything. And then I thought I was getting out shortly after that with Donna Maddox, you know. So I didn't do anything for about 2.5 weeks in here.
Right.
Really longer than that.
Now remember,
then I started doing a few push-ups, but for some reason,
remember, this is him in jail with the $7 million bond.
Mm-hmm. And he thinking he gonna get out on $7 million bond.
This is not the murder charges.
Right.
This is the fraud cases. I sent it to you too. So this is the fraud cases that he was arrested on. I believe this is the fraud case he was arrested on for trying to fraud the insurance company over his murder.
I think that and the other cases with the Gloria thing.
June 28th, 2022, was indicted by the state's grid on 2 conspiracy counts, including narcotic count related to the painkiller Oxycontin. And
Hey, True.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, D True?
Yeah, this is
what's going on,
see. Okay, during a hearing in which a judge sets his bond at $7 million, Mr. Murdoch's lawyer said his client had agreed to pay $4.3 million to Miss Satterfield's family. He remained in jail. So that's what these phone calls are.
I don't know why I put that up, y'all. I'm sorry. Hit the right one. Exposing these hoes. That's what I should change. This exposing these. We'll talk about it.
It made my head hurt after about a few days, but now it's not doing that. I guess I've got. You told me that. I've got in better shape.
Alec tells Randy he's been hearing a high-pitched ringing noise in his ears and wonders whether it's a side effect of his alleged drug addiction.
I would think it's more to do with your hereditary and your shooting, you know?
Alec is clearly optimistic about getting out of jail soon. Here he sounds very hopeful about Dick and Jim's habeas corpus motion, but also, quite appallingly, he makes it a point to say that he didn't know what a habeas corpus was before now. Apparently, neither did Randy. Both of these men have been attorneys for decades.
They're so full of
but
shit.
okay. You're never too old to learn something new. Hey, maybe we're teaching them about the Freedom of Information Act today.
Have you talked to Jim and Dick or whomever else about filing bankruptcy, bro?
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed it, but there's some time in.
I mean, it's almost like you're stuck in bankruptcy right now, but you got all the bad from it, but none of the good from it. You know what I'm saying?
So they're talking about, I'm not really familiar with this, but apparently there's a civil remedy. What is it? I've heard of the writ of mandamus, but I don't really know what it is, but it must be something that gives you quick turnaround.
Right.
When
It's
you got
something
immediate
straight to
harm.
the Supreme Court. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what they're going to do. If
Why come these old ass lawyers don't know this shit? Why come these old ass lawyers don't know?
That's not what they.
Their specialty might not be criminal law.
Well, he is a criminal defense attorney, but now we're talking about bankruptcy. So he may not understand the bankruptcies. He wants the protection of bankruptcy so that they will liquidate everything or put a price tag on what he has, so they can't go after more than he has.
Right. Okay.
So if he files bankruptcy, everything's frozen, but they're going to set it aside, and then the bankruptcy judge has the right to dispense enough money for them to live on. Right now they're in limbo.
But see, and I get him trying to protect the money or do whatever. But I mean, okay, I got to remember this is before the murder charges. He's just in jail for all the other stuff.
Yeah, they're dead. And honestly, when Buster talks to him, he don't sound like he's
distraught.
It's like, yeah, Mama's dead.
Crazy.
Paul's dead.
Hell, he don't sound like he's distraught. None of them seem distraught, honestly.
I went to Vegas. Girlfriend's a lawyer.
He
now.
talking about exercising. He asked the son that one time, "How you doing since your brother and your mother passed?" I mean, this is weird.
But again, he hasn't been indicted yet for those
I
murders.
don't care, the truth. They're still gone.
Yes, but
Y'all
he
supposed to be
doesn't.
grieving.
That's another thing that you see in these tapes. He is not remorseful or saddened by his wife and son.
Yes,
He doesn't bring that up at all.
at all. He don't ask the boy Buster how you doing. You know, you missing your mama, you missing your brother.
Yeah, if I was advising him, that's the first thing I would say. You want to say on all your phone calls how much you miss your wife and your son. Every phone call. Matter of fact, a couple times during the phone call,
did Buster cry?
You say no. Alex needs to cry. Remember, he hasn't been charged with it yet. He'd be like, yeah, last night I just sat in my cell and wept like a little bitch. Something. You got to put it out there. You know, instead of be like, yeah, me and the boys, I got some cigarettes and a couple of ho-hos, you know.
And some damn ramen noodles and shit.
I don't hear any remorse.
None.
I don't hear nothing like, bitch is dead, who cares? You know, that's what I hear.
This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy.
And the fact that Buster doesn't want to go to his mother's parents tells me you know something.
And the parents know something.
But just the fact that he won't go to them, those are still your grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
But Buster is older now, and he should have his own money, right?
He should. They say he's working at full-time job.
So he can't go to the court and say he needs to live off of whatever his father had.
Right. He can't do that. Right.
He's not a juvenile. He's not under the age of 18 because as soon as you turn 18, they're like, well, you're a grown man. Get your ass out there and get a job. You know, unless you work for your father.
Right.
I don't want to hear it, but you didn't. So again, he's trying to protect all his assets.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the whole thing of my son Buster would have got 10 million. Hey, too bad. I didn't know you had to take care of Buster like that.
Right.
It's just the whole no remorse, no concern, no nothing. Like he's just waiting for them to charge him.
Yep. All right, y'all. We got let's see, we're like 20-something minutes left on this, and hopefully we're done in a 2-hour span. If not, we'll go a little over. But I want to get you finished with this one today. So yeah, here we go. Y'all be sure to hit the like button. Feel free to hit the Cash App and support the channel. Thank you.
You know he's going to deny it. He's going to do it, but they at least told me, Dick came to see me yesterday and told me that the Supreme Court, you know, they filed I've heard of this too, but I didn't know what it is. You know what a habeas corpus, a writ of habeas corpus is?
I know it's something directly to the Supreme Court. Now, other than that, no, I don't know.
So apparently, you know, there's nobody with this kind of stuff that has ever not gotten a bond. It might be a huge bond, but they get a bond, and you're constitutionally entitled to a bond for non-capital offenses, is what they tell me. Constitutionally entitled. And because it's a constitutional violation, you can file a writ of habeas corpus. Same thing like writ of mandamus for a civil charge. Habeas corpus is for a criminal charge. I think they're the same thing, just one's criminal and one's civil. And anyway, they initially said they weren't going to expedite it, but then they said they are going to expedite it, and they gave the Attorney General 10 days to respond. I don't get my hopes up about anything because I don't think normal rules apply to me right now, but they seem to think that if the Supreme Court wasn't going to do something, that they wouldn't have done that. So they're at least optimistic they're going to do something. Right. I mean, the Attorney General only asked for $200,000 bond, you know. I mean, they could give me, you know, a $20 million bond, but and comply with the Constitution. But I'm being facetious. I think it's got to be, you know, reasonable. But they could say $5 million.
You wouldn't think the judge would say more than what the Attorney General asked for, you know?
Well, he said no bond.
I thought he said $200,000.
That's what the Attorney General asked for. Clifton Newman wouldn't give me a bond.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't think he would require more bond than solicitor asked for.
Yeah. So anyway, they're trying to take it out of, I don't know. They seem very optimistic.
Okay, you want to know what habeas corpus means?
Go ahead.
Okay. Habeas corpus is a fundamental right in the Constitution that protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment. The translated from Latin, it means "show me the body." Habeas corpus has historically been an important instrument to safeguard individuals' freedom against arbitrary executive powers. What in layman terms, it means I must receive a bond that is equal to my crime.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hold me for an extraordinary bond that doesn't fit the crime. And the reason they call it habeas corpus, show me the body, is because you can't charge someone with murder without a body.
I thought you could, though.
Now you can, but it has to be medically proven that there's no way that person could have survived.
Right. Okay.
Meaning they have to show that there's 89 pints of blood on this floor and nobody can live without 89 pints of blood. Okay. There's
like this person lost this much blood and they could not survive losing that much blood. Yeah.
They have to prove that there's no possible way that this person could have survived this horrendous scene.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they got to, there's a toenail over there. There's a hand over there. There's no way this person could have lived through whatever I'm seeing in this crime scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So, but hey, that's what habeas corpus covers. Show me the body.
Gotcha. Well, to be honest, $7 million for those, that's a lot. But I think these.
But he was charged for $8.8 million in fraud.
Oh, I didn't know the amount.
Yeah, there was 8.8. They're saying he swindled $8.8 million from his clients.
Damn. Oh, baby, what is the money? That needs to be saying, show us the money. What is the money?
And the $7 million bond is to ensure that the people that were victimized would be able to get their money.
Right.
So for him to get out of jail, he needs to pay this $7 million, because at the time I think they could only prove $7 million, but then later it came out to be $8.8 million. So basically, you need to put that up so that that these people be able to be paid. So his lawyer said he put up the $4.3 million for the two boys, the maid's sons. He put aside $4.3 million for them. And that's supposedly, so they were trying to get him back in court with the habeas corpus to go in front of the judge to show that his bond should not be $7 million. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount.
It should have been. It should be this. So that's what they were fighting for, to get him out. Which I don't understand. If you can't come up with $7 million, which I don't think he wanted to show them he could. Which means he's not worth that much, and to pull out $7 million would kind of, show them too much. See what I'm saying? To pay that, even well, I mean, he would have to pay $700,000 to a bondsman, but I don't think a bondsman would touch that.
Shit, I know I would.
No, I'm talking. Yeah, but understand something. You pay me $700,000. I have to give the court $7 million.
Shit.
And that money sits there until your case is either over or they release the bond. I can't do anything with that $7 million. Yeah, I got $700,000, but I still have to put up $7 million, which is at fault if he should run. The reason they wanted a $7 million cash bond was because they were worried he was going to take off, and they wanted to make sure all individuals would be covered. And there's the $7 million to pay those people. Go ahead and run. If you want to, go ahead and run. But these people are going to get paid whether you're in jail or not.
Right.
Okay, go ahead, finish.
Okay.
2 days after this conversation, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court effectively removed Judge Newman from making any more decisions about Alec's bond. In the days that followed that decision, FitzNews kept asking our sources whether Judge Newman's no bond ruling would still be in effect. We were assured again and again that it would. Later, we found out that the two charges were basically replaced by the state grand jury indictments, and that Judge Lee, who is famously known for her lenient bond setting, was now on the case. So yeah, Dick and Jim were optimistic on December 1st.
So we'll see. It would be nice to get out for a little while and then go deal with this stuff, but
Yeah. Well, Bob, I
look at it as every day I'm in here now is one less day I'm in here in the long run, you know?
Well, you know what? That's the fact. I mean, the fact is, every time there's a new case that comes up, a new, revelation of, something you took, but those same people very, very quickly are going to the, being subpoenaed to the state grand jury. So, I mean, it's just, there's going to be more to come. Obviously, you know that.
Right.
And so, you're right about that. But the quicker it all can come to a head, the better, obviously, I think.
So there is no bond.
We have to ask, how does Randy Murdoch know who has been
What did you
subpoenaed?
say, the true?
So there is no bond.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I guess they came to the agreement of the $7 million bond.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no bond at all. And his lawyers are trying to say that this is not a case where no bond should be admitted.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a bond, but the judge is saying that these people need to get paid, no bond, because I think you're going to run.
Absolutely.
So they kicked him off and got another judge that's a little more lenient. I think maybe that's where the $7 million bond.
I know, because like I said, what I said in the last one, I think initially when he went in, he was on a no bond. Mm-hmm. So then probably when they switched judges, then that judge eventually gave him one. But he was initially in there under no bond.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
Which they're trying to say it's unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
That under habeas corpus, as long as the crime fits,
mm-hmm.
you need to put a bond up.
Right.
So the $200,000 bond that the prosecutor wanted was bypassed by the judge to a no bond.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Child.
To testify in front of the super secretive state grand jury seems like a real breach of trust and potentially dangerous for witnesses who are just trying to speak their truth.
The next call Alec made that night was to his sister Lynn. She is the oldest Murdoch sibling and doesn't seem nearly as involved in the family affairs as her brothers. Lynn asked about Alec's day-to-day life in jail. And of course, he talks about working out a lot.
I'm with a small group for the most part. 70%, 75% of the time, I'm with these same 5 guys. And then there's another guy that's on our thing, but he doesn't even come out when he's just kind of weird. He doesn't come out. But anyway, we play chess and play cards, and we have.
Well, at least you got somebody to interact with a little bit now. I was worried about you when you were completely by yourself.
And I tell you this, I've been really exercising hard. Once I didn't do crap while I thought I was getting out quickly. And then, I can really tell the difference. Like today, we didn't get out. They had people working in here, so they wouldn't let us out early. I mean, I exercised for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm telling you, I can tell the difference too.
He says that Lynn and his sister-in-law Lizzie wrote him more than anyone else.
I'm trying to make the best out of it. I'm really trying to exercise hard, and I quit. It bugged the shit out of me to start with, but I started looking at it as, you know what? Every day I do now is one less day.
One less you have to do on the tail end of it. You were absolutely right. You just got to keep that attitude. But I know it's tough. I can't imagine. Can't imagine.
And we'll be right back. Next up are calls from January 4th. These calls were also brought up by Prosecutor Creighton Waters during Alec's bond reconsideration hearing on January 10th. In that hearing, Creighton was making it clear that even from behind bars, Alec was exploiting the rules for his own benefit. First up, Alec asked Buster about his money situation.
Buster, how you doing on finances?
Pretty slim, but it'll be getting better.
Well, listen here. Do you want me to tell Uncle John to give you, several $1,000s, and then I'll pay you back?
No, it's just I've just had expenses, like considering I had to change my medical insurance.
Buster keeps telling his dad that he is financially fine, but his dad keeps on insisting that he should let John Marvin give him money. We should also note that just a month and a half earlier, Alec's lawyers were claiming that Buster, who again has a full-time job, could not afford groceries. You'll notice in this next part that Buster seems reluctant to borrow money from his relatives and actually has plenty of money of his own. And when Alec tells him he'll reimburse John Marvin for storage, if you listen really carefully, you can hear Buster start to say, well, I don't understand how you would.
Well, we need to get John to pay for the storage facility and then let me pay him back.
Well, I don't understand how you would.
You need to be paying. But anyway, I mean, do you want me to get him to give you just, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 so you just have, and you don't have to worry about expenses?
No, because I've got that money. Right now my bank account, I've got $10,000. A little bit more when I
sure, like when you go play golf, you can, if you want to, get a shirt and have a drink and have drinks or whatever at the bar. This, that, and the other.
This man is sitting here pretending like this boy need money to live, but you talking about, okay, when you go play golf, maybe you want to buy a shirt.
It's for him without letting the people know it's for him.
Right.
But Buster's not catching on to what he's saying.
Buster,
because he can't ask because if he says, "Hey, Buster, tell your uncle to give me $10,000," now that becomes part of Alex's assets.
Mm-hmm. The boy just told him he got 10,000 grand in the bank, more than most 21, 22, 20, whatever. I cannot with this. This is.
Yeah, I've got stuff they can settle all that.
All right. Well, you just got to keep me posted because, I can get him to give you money and then pay him back. Okay. Well, you got to keep me posted and let me know, okay?
What's in those storage units?
Everything else going okay?
Huh?
Wonder what's in those storage units.
Money.
That they don't want. They want to make sure they get paid for or turned over to be in someone else's possession.
Money or bodies at this damn point here.
It could be money. Everyone saw Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it is fun.
Next, we find out that the Mercedes with the run flat tires that gave away Alec's lie about being shot is still at sled. Here, Buster seems to have to give his dad a dose of reality.
You want to take my clubs?
No, I just use mine. I don't know where yours are. I think yours are still in the Mercedes. It's a sled.
Shortly after they end the call, Alec calls Buster back. He apparently forgot to ask him to do one of those end-of-call favors we told you about.
Sorry to bug you again real quick. Hey, where's Lyra?
She's back at the house, which I just left.
Okay, how about call her and tell her I'm trying to get her?
Okay, what do you need from her?
I need her to put some money on a canteen.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I'll call her again. I called her twice.
No.
What?
I can shoot her a buzz. I just got to do it while I'm right here at the Exxon, because if I go any further, I'm not going to have any service.
So there's a guy who doesn't get canteen, and canteen is the commerce.
I know what it is.
You know, I mean, it's the commerce, it's the trade, and it really helped me last week when she put it on that Lucas's account. I want her to do that one more time.
Okay, it's just outside looking in.
Wait a minute. He wants.
What do you mean?
He wants them to put it on another guy's account?
Yeah, last week she put it on another guy's account. This week he want her to put it on another guy's account. And Buster just said that looks a little weird.
Because they're protecting him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's paying for
either they protecting him or he paying them not to take his booty. Yes, baby.
Well, that is they're protecting him so no one does take his little red booty.
I'm almost done. I'll be back in a minute. What'd you say, D. True?
I think he's paying them to protect him so they won't take his red booty. So that sounds funny because I know they were looking at where you can't do that anymore. Only family members can put money on people, or you have to have they have to approve you to put money on people's books.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just come in there. So it does really sound funny.
Mm-hmm.
That he don't have any. I'm just looking out for him. He don't have any money on his.
And he try to make it seem like he being nice, putting money on people's canteen, but then on the other end, he acting like he broke his hell. You gotta stop.
Yeah, well, Buster's like, what you paying some other man?
Yeah, he said it looks weird. He said it looks weird.
You paying somebody 3 cigarettes and a cup of coffee?
That's that booty bandit fun. That's that booty bandit fun.
The booty bandit. I'm paying the booty bandit not to take my booty.
Mm-hmm. That's what that is.
It just looks a little weird.
Finally, someone points out the elephant in Alex's room. Finally, one of his family members points out his narcissistic shadiness. For a second, anyway. Narcissists are great at batting away reality. Just listen.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I made a deal with somebody. I give them $15. See, I can only do $60 on my account.
I understand. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying you are, man. I just really hope you're not in there doing anything you shouldn't be doing.
Oh no, I'm not doing anything.
That's a shame when your son got to tell you that. That's a shame when your son said, look, dude, you in jail. Please don't be doing something to get yourself in trouble. You already locked up, dude. His ass ought to know that. Ridiculous.
I promise you, that's not the case.
All right, well, let me call her real quick and tell her to be on the lookout. And I would, do you have an idea of like time in there at all?
Buster tells him to wait. The same day, Alec calls Lizzie, John Marvin's wife, a few minutes later. Like the other calls, Alec starts a conversation with hurried pleasantries, but quickly diverts his intention, which is to get money put on another inmate's account for his own use.
They're leaving. I'm not going to bother you. You can have some quiet time, but I need y'all to one more time, y'all to put canteen on Justin Lucas's account.
Okay. What's going on?
What?
What's going on?
It allows me to get stuff that I need. We can only do $60. And he doesn't get canteen, so I give him some money in return for using his account.
I gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, and keep track of it, okay?
Okay. All right, I will.
How soon will you be able to do it?
That's one thing about a nigga locked up. Let me tell you about a nigga locked up, and I know. Let me tell you something. Them motherfuckers sit in jail. They ain't got nothing but time on their hands. They will worry the hell out of you. They ask you to do something, and it's like, it's not like you're in the outside world still trying to live life, still trying to survive, and shit of that nature, and have things to do. They expect when they ask you to do something, they want it done like immediately, and they want you to tell them that it's gonna be done immediately. A motherfucker sitting in jail is the most demanding motherfucker you'll come across. It's irritating as fuck. I know I went through it. It's horrible. how soon you gonna be able to do it. You ought to be glad I'm doing it, dude. The fuck? They feel like all you have to do in a day is just sit around and wait for them to call with their damn demands, and you hop up and do it.
30 minutes or so.
Okay, all right. You sure you don't mind?
No, it's all good.
Justin Lucas, by the way, is a 31-year-old inmate at Richland County who is being held in lieu of $7,000 bond for a single assault and battery charge and a shoplifting charge. Since March 2013, Justin has been arrested more than 40 times in Colombia and charged with 60 crimes, most of them petty crimes like trespassing, public drunkenness, walking in the roadway, public disorderly conduct, and something called aggressive begging. Liz Murdoch allegedly forgets to put money on.
What the hell is aggressive begging?
Okay. Aggressive begging is when you're approaching people and you're it's begging, but you're aggressive. If they don't want to give you the money, you still go after them and you start raising your voice. And in order to charge you with aggressive begging, someone has to feel like you're threatening them if they don't give you any money. So
damn, that's a charge.
Yeah, it is, because a lot you'll see a lot of people, not the ones that kind of stand out there with signs, but it's the people that are standing out in front of somewhere, and as you come out, and
the gas station,
they keep following you. They follow you and they try to keep you. So what I'm trying. If they keep you from going somewhere, they just keep following you, cutting you off, then you could be arrested for aggressive begging.
Damn it, man. Gotcha.
On Justin's account, which, by the way, is against the jail's rules. Liz forgot, so Alec calls John Marvin that evening to get him to get Liz to complete this very crucial task. Why Liz? Why can't John Marvin or even Buster put money on Justin's account? Great question.
Hey, John, is Lizzie nearby? She is. I talked to her earlier. She was going to put some money on that account for me, and she did it. Okay, well, what is it? This is where she knows what to do. The boy's name is Justin Lucas. Okay. And what is it though? It's putting money on. He doesn't get canteen, so I get him.
This is what I don't get. How in the hell is you asking your brother's wife to do something that he don't know about? How is you asking your brother's wife to put some money on a dude's boots in jail and he don't know nothing about it? Now I understand the woman is saying, John Marvin can't do it because it may, raise some flags or whatever. But he still should know that his wife is doing it. How are you calling this man's wife, asking her to put money on a dude's book and he don't know about it?
Okay, so aggressive begging could be put on YouTube if they really wanted to. It says begging with an intent to intimidate another person into giving money or goods, begging with the use of false, misleading information.
Hell, that's scamming.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, I'm a beggar, according to the streets, but I ain't finna scam nobody. To me, that sounds like scamming.
The full
So you basically lying about why you need the money.
Exactly. If they could catch you in the lie, they could charge you with aggressive begging.
Wow.
Illegal, and it's under state code. The person commits this offense, he or she begs in a manner that intentionally hinders or obstructs the free passage. Everything I'm mentioning of a person in a public place by words or action, begs with the intent to intimidate another person into giving them funds.
Wow. All right, then you learn something new every day. I promise you.
There's a lot of aggressive beggars on here.
Damn it.
Some of the money, and he orders canteen. So I'm having to order thermals and all that. I'm having to order ibuprofen because I'm exercising and my knee and my shoulder, and hell, ibuprofen's $15 on there to get a week's supply. I got you. So it gives me extra canteen. I got you. Did he get one?
No, he doesn't get any. So she put it on his account. We just did it one time. We did it last week, and I'm gonna do it one more time.
Okay.
But I need her to do it right now.
All right. And what's the amount?
$60.
Okay.
And she's supposed to be keeping a track of all this so I can make sure and pay you back.
Simple. Well, I'll get her. She's putting the kids down right now, putting Randolph down for house place.
How long you think she'll be?
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? These motherfuckers. I need her to do it right now. Okay. She putting the babies down. She putting the kids down. How long you think she'll be? Ooh, baby, let me tell you something.
Well, you don't have to go somewhere. You actually do it through an app.
But you literally have to stop what you're doing to do it.
Exactly.
I know what you have to do. I've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done it. It's just the whole thing of you think that I'm supposed to stop living. Like, I get it. I get it. But see, you got to remember, this dude in prison, he ain't got nothing but he ain't got.
The booty bandit is not going to wait. Okay? When the booty bandit wants that booty, he's going to get it.
I'm just irritated for these people because I've been in this situation before. The shit is irritating. The man just said, he said, I need her to do it right now. The man just said, okay, she putting the babies down, she'll do it when she's done. How long you think that'll be? I'm like,
Big Bubba is not trying to hear that. He trying to take his booty.
He wants that ho-ho right now. He can't buy that ho-ho with no money on his book. But the person that he's doing it with sounds like a crackhead to me.
Yeah, whoever
he's
is,
crime.
He done been in jail over 60 times or charged or whatever. His family ain't even sending him shit. So
from stealing and everything else. Did you know that aggressive begging is also considered in a manner that exploits children? So you know those people that sit out there with the lawn chairs with all their children out there, that could be aggressive begging.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see Santa.
Okay, because we have we have 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Then they talk about Jim Griffin and Dick Harpootlian working hard, but John Marvin seems to question their efforts a little bit.
All right, well, Jim and Dick are working hard, so
what are they working on? Have all the charges been brought forward?
See, that's what I don't know. I don't know that yet. I don't know. I suspect that if they do it like they've done everything else, they'll sit and wait till something else comes up and then do some more charges.
Right.
But I don't know. Have you talked to Randy since last week?
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
And then John Marvin breaks some news to Alec. Apparently, Alec has not been reading Fitz news from jail.
Yeah, you know about the law firm, don't you?
Here it is.
No.
Yeah, law firm.
Oh Lord, the worst thing that can happen is you get some bad news while you locked up, a death or something like this. Okay, let's listen.
This has dissolved, and they're reforming under a new name.
I didn't know nothing about that. What is that?
Yes, because of all the negative publicity and all the stuff they're going through.
What is the new name?
They operate under the
what?
Like this. This could be operated under the Parker Law Group.
The what?
Parker Law Group.
Central.
And then I think each one of them kind of opens up an LLC partnership or LLP in each partner's name and operates under the Parker Law Group heading.
And I hate they having to go through all that.
Yeah, but they catch them and they going through all kinds of stuff.
Is there anything I can help with?
What the fuck are you going to do?
Man.
I think you've done enough.
When the time is right and the things that you acknowledge, I think opening up about it to the general public. There's a lot of people that just think that you're trying to trust everything.
On December 31st, Fitz News was first to report that PMPED had dissolved. and that the firm's partners had each created their own legal entities. All of them are practicing under the umbrella of Parker Law Group, which is the last name of Johnny Parker, one of the most prominent members of PMPED. The other thing Alec apparently didn't know was that his friend and alleged co-conspirator, Corey Fleming, was no longer employed by his Beaufort law firm. When you're listening, note how Alec asks whether Corey's firing is real. Either he finds this truly unbelievable, or he's rather accustomed to things being done just for the optics.
You know, I mean, obviously Corey's been fired. I mean, you knew about that, did you? Been what? Corey has been fired. Legitimately, for real? Well, I understand they've removed the name from the law firm, removed the name from the sign out front. He's not working. I knew he had some issues with the license, but no, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's permanent or whether that's just a temporary deal, or I don't know, but I suspect it's more permanent.
John Marvin makes an attempt to appeal to Alec's moral credibility.
$4.3
It's the delusions for me. It's the what do you mean? Why? Like why?
What do you mean? I only put money in your bank account that was supposed to go to them. Why would they go after me? I don't know. What did I do? Did I do something wrong? I was just listening to you, who had no business telling me anything about this case.
Facts.
And they just fired me for no reason. I'm filing a unlawful determination.
This man's trying to thought at this point. He's the dumbest lawyer. You know what?
He's there. Really? Is it real?
Is it legitimate? I think. Legitimate? See, he's so used to shit being done, like shady shit being done. He's literally asking, "Is it legitimate?" Because he know people that'll just say some shit is going down and it's really not going down. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, he's so used to being shady and dealing in shady shit. You know what I mean?
So what? They took his name off the marquee. So what? They took his name off the door. But is he still working?
Is his name still on the letterhead?
Yeah. Can he work? Nope, he's not working at all now. Oh shit, it is real. Oh damn. What kind of shit is that?
He's the dumbest lawyer I've ever listened to, man. I don't know if it's just because of what he's going through or whatever, but this man sounds dumb to me. I'm sorry, y'all.
Because that's what he would have did. I would have just told everybody I fired him. I'd have took his name.
That's what I'm saying. He's so used to shady shit. Right.
They removed my name a couple times before, but I was still working. You know, I guess that's what he did.
I just let the people think I was, they were fired. Yeah.
The people I stole the money from, they just believed I was fired.
Like the people, like the courts, I need the courts to believe that I'm broke and I ain't got no money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the money in the storage room that you're trying to keep.
Which, best of luck to you, John Marvin.
I just think that talk to Jim and Dick, and I think that you talking about certain things is coming back and talking about it is going to make a difference.
Basically, he wants you to take ownership. He wants you to take ownership. Now, let's just be clear. Those people that were affected, as far as the law firm and the friend and everybody else that was affected, they grown. They made a decision to engage in these activities with this man. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not putting what happened to them on him, but I am for real putting it on him. Because he's the shady one. He had all these people coming out, doing all this shady shit. But they grown asses did it. They did it. Shit.
That's the only thing if we're talking. What do you mean talking about what? If you've been charged with something that you did, acknowledging and accepting it and making clear who didn't do anything. So, but obviously only if there's something. Oh, there's people saying that the law firm's done all kinds of stuff. There's people saying, it's amazing what's going on. They're saying that the law firm has done all kinds of stuff. They're saying that
basically, he's telling him you need to take accountability because the law firm is being blamed and indicated in your wrongdoings. So what you need to come out and do is own your shit and say these people ain't had nothing to do with it.
The conspirator in the all these frauds in his trial, he says he didn't do anything. It was all me. But they don't believe that.
Okay.
The court doesn't believe it because they're not letting the other guy out either.
Oh, wow.
Involved. His name was on all the transactions. He was deep involved. And I think that's what they're worried about. How far back are they going to dig and watch where the checks go? Because that's how you get implemented. Well,
follow the money.
For this.
Follow the money. That's always been the thing. Follow the money.
But that was part of our law firm. That's right. Then okay, then you got to pay too.
Well, see, you got to understand. Now, see, I can believe he was doing shit that the law firm didn't know about because you got to remember he was also stealing from them.
I don't think he was. I think they're saying he was in order to absolve them of anything unlawful that might.
Wow,
be
really?
So basically, they were making money with him. But if
so
they
you
turn
think
around,
they do know what he was doing?
I think so.
Oh,
because they quickly paid.
They did.
So the law firm paid the people, not the two maids' kids. They didn't pay them because that was done by another person. But all the people that he stole money from the firm, they paid that back to those people.
They didn't want the huge investigation. They didn't want those tables turned.
And that tells me that they knew what was going on.
Yeah, because those people could have sued him, right, and not them.
They would have sued the law firm.
That would have sued the law firm. Okay.
Yes,
but they still would have had to pay though.
Yeah, but they settled very quickly.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh my God, what just happened? We're looking into it. There was none of that.
Gotcha.
It was basically, okay, here you go. You were
shut up.
Be
quiet. Here go your money.
Stop looking.
Yeah.
We paid already. Leave us alone. That's why they quickly, once they made the payments to all the people that he had stole from the law firm, they dissolved the law firm. Which means there is no more law firm. There's nobody here you could sue because the law firm's gone.
Right. Gotcha.
So they're getting him to fess up and say they
he
were never
needs to
involved.
take accountability. I think they want him to take accountability. Well,
so that they won't charge them with anything.
That's what I was going to say.
And I think that's their main reason with dissolving the law firm.
Yeah, you already in enough trouble. Just go and take the rap, dude. That's what they're saying. Just go and take the rap so everybody won't fall like you because you're done. You're done.
Think about it. There was 90 charges of fraud. 90 charges of fraud and 11 lawsuits against Alex Murdaugh himself.
They knew he was done.
Oh, they're like, dude, this is the point where you jump out of the car and let us keep driving.
Okay, let us get away.
Just open the door and roll out. We're not even gonna slow down. Just open the door and roll out. And they'll, wherever they find you, But we're just gonna keep going. We don't want to slow down and let you out. We can't.
Right, love, baby girl. Just go. Just take one for the team, damn it.
Take your seatbelt off and roll out, please. I'll get close. I can't get dirt, and we gonna stay on the road and keep going. Okay, buddy. The cops are gonna stop and pick you up, and we're gonna get away. End of story. And D.D. Cooper. I'm gonna jump out the plane. There's nothing to see here. It's over.
It's ridiculous. This is a lie, though.
Basically, they went to him and said, "You need to call your brother and tell him to fall on the sword, please."
Gabe, did you see that money that Jalen Hurst finna be making? Did you see that money? I think I may need to find that young man. I think he needs to be adopted. Jalen Hurst is the highest
$179 million guaranteed.
He's gonna get hurt in a second.
I said, I see he getting 179 guaranteed, 255 overall.
Yep, 255 million, 255. And that boy ain't even 25, I don't think.
Yeah, they're all getting that right now. So, but still, by the second game, he's gonna be hurt.
Y'all gonna start wishing hurt on Jalen. I know he been being hurt lately.
Yeah, 179 in his pocket. Go home with a limp for 179 million dollars.
It's still young enough to get it in.
Yep.
Cause he's young. He's young.
I'd have pulled a hamstring.
I think I need to find him and see if he need a mommy. That boy got that money. He making that money. I love me some Jalen. I love him.
That's all right, because he's setting up for the next quarterback. If he got that, the next quarterback's going to get even more.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes is going to double that.
Wow.
Because Patrick Mahomes is 100 times better than Jalen Hurts.
Don't do that. Don't do that, D. True. Now we was on a good. We was on a good accord. We were on a good accord. You know what?
True. The loser should not get paid more than the winner.
Listen, Linda. I can't say a girl. Y'all, we got 3 minutes left and then we're done, okay? Thank y'all so much for staying here today. I appreciate it.
Chad, Wilson, Chris, you name it, and everybody's implicated.
Did you notice how there is no presumption of innocence on John Marvin's part? Alec's guilt appears to be a foregone conclusion, even by his own family.
Well, this didn't come with law enforcement, to my knowledge. This is just one real street. I mean, I've said, and there's been no talk whatsoever from anybody in an official capacity. So, you know, I just think it'll make a difference. When I talked to the court the other day, one of the things I said was, you know, my partners didn't know anything. And I said, Chris and Corey, you know, did they not bring any of that? No, I meant very little of that was said because they couldn't report it.
John Marvin urges Alec to run the idea by Dick and Jim.
There was some of it that was brought back out, but I don't know. That's what we're talking to Dick and Jim about to see if I don't even know if there's any way to give an official statement. I don't know. They got to figure all that out of it. But they don't have the same issues that everybody else has.
They want him to plead guilty.
Yeah, they do.
So they want him to plead guilty and tell the courts it was only me.
Mm-hmm.
It was only me. I did it. Nobody else did it. So they want him to plead guilty and save the firm.
Save the firm.
But
right.
he don't look like the type.
No, hell no. The dumb asshole took the stand in his own murder case.
Yeah. He don't look like the type that's going to open the door and roll out. I don't picture him doing that.
Hell no.
He still says he's innocent.
He's too narcissistic. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. And they know he ain't gonna do it. Hell, they know him. All of them talk like they intimidated by him, like they're a little afraid.
Well, they don't want they honestly. They probably think. Well, I think he's gonna try to cut a deal. Well,
kill me. That motherfucker killing folks right now. He done killed the drug dealer.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying they feel like, hey, you need to find out how this is going because he may cut a deal that say, I'll give you all of them. You want them all? I got them all. Here you go. I'll give you all of them. Just don't let me go to jail.
I'm still finding it weird, and I am so behooved at the fact that in speaking with these family members, Buster, the two brothers, and the sister-in-law, nobody has mentioned these dead Paul and Maggie.
I don't see remorse in anyone. But again,
this is weird as hell.
He has not been charged with their murders yet.
But they're dead. The truth, they're dead.
I know what you're saying. I haven't heard him say one word. Well, you know, son, I miss your mama. I'll be like, look, I'm telling you right now, get on that phone.
They ain't asked him, you know, how you, the brothers and the sister-in-law, how you doing okay, with Maggie and Paul, this got to be hard for you.
Nothing. They're not even asking him. Like Buster's not like, so how you doing, Dad? You okay? I know you probably miss Mom. I'm not hearing any of that.
This shit is.
He wouldn't have been my client. I'd have told him, you dumbass. Get that damn phone.
You know they record these phone calls.
Yeah, you know they record it. Get on the phone and cry, you dumbass. Cry for at least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes. I want to hear you boo-hooing on the damn phone.
Can you pretend to be sniffing a little bit?
Go splash water in your face.
This is crazy.
So the guards can see you crying. It's not go pull your ass hair out before you go make the phone call. Something to make you cry, because you ain't doing it. You is not doing some way to pluck a hair off your balls, something to make you damn cry.
Hit yourself in the balls. I heard that's very painful. Have somebody to kick you in the balls before you come.
While you're on the phone, have somebody come by and just twist your balls while you're on the phone. Ah! Maggie!
I don't understand.
I need you to be in the middle of dinner and just start screaming, Maggie! Maggie! Something.
This is not funny, y'all. This is not funny. Oh my God.
Just something. Shit. I want people to hear you. I want your cellmate to complain because all you do is cry all night. I want your cellmate to ask to be moved. I need to be moved. This dude keep me up all damn night crying about his wife and his son. I gotta go.
He ain't doing none of that.
Yeah,
none of that.
Just put $20 on his books to tell the lie. Something. I don't hear any of that. None of it. Not once has he mentioned Maggie or Paul. And they're both
I'm sitting here listening for somebody to mention that poor woman and that poor child.
Yeah,
they're not doing it.
They're both dead. He hasn't been charged yet, but I hear no remorse from anyone. But you know who he ain't calling? He ain't calling Maggie's parents. I see that shit.
Yeah, no, he wants the son to call them because they know he did it. I'm telling you, they know. Yeah. They know he did it.
I just find it strange that he knows these recordings are being made while he's on the phone because he waits to the very end. He's hoping that whoever's listening to him gets so bored
and stop listening
at the bullshit and be like, oh shit, I got shit, hang up and just let it go. But I guess not. And a fun fact, people, you can petition people's phone conversations under the Privacy Act. You can petition people's phone calls from in jail, as you see, because they got them.
Yep, so they got them.
Maybe we need to find somebody in jail's phone calls that called Philly Phil and listen to them. We just need his name.
All right, y'all, we got less than 2 minutes. Let's listen.
You know what? They aren't having the same issues. Who isn't? There's more perception than anything, at this point. Who isn't having the same issues? Dick and Jim. I mean, they're looking at it from a whole different perspective. They're doing it from a way that they manage it. That's just what they do. They know how to manage what they're handling. I need to sit down with them and figure out what I can do. Is what I need to do. Well, it'd be worth a conversation with them to find out for sure. And it may not matter. I don't know. I feel like that's about the only thing left that I just don't know the manner to do it. And you only do it if it's something that you did or need to say. I mean, obviously, if it's something that you weren't involved with, you certainly say that. Sure. All right. Thank you for letting. Anyway, I'll get those right now.
Then, for the first time in all of these calls, someone says the names Maggie and Paul.
Finally! Come on.
Marvin talks about how the family recently shared a somber moment. Alec, ever the narcissist, asked if they were sad about him.
Because of me or because of Maggie and Paul? Maggie and Paul. Maggie and Paul in particular. I know all about that.
Alec then quickly changes the subject. It's now time for his end of call favor.
All right, will you talk to Lizzie real soon? Yeah, I'll do that right now. The dude just told me we got like 2 minutes.
Now, mind you, his brother told him that the family had a somber moment. He said, is it due to, was it about me or Maggie and Paul? The brother said it was about Maggie and Paul. He changes the subject. This man right here.
But she's got to do it. I'll do it right now. Can she do it right now? Yeah, I'll get her. Listen to this now, Jamal. You got to remember this name, Justin Lucas.
We filed more Freedom of Information Act requests for phone calls, and we have several great episodes in store for you. Stay tuned.
We will. All right, y'all. That's the end of part 1. Somebody finally mentioned Maggie at the end. It didn't last long. Maggie and Paul, and it didn't last.
Not nothing.
Not nothing.
So sad. So sad.
Not nothing.
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 Other than were they crying because I'm in jail?
This man here, but what you deserve to rot. He deserves to rot. I'm sorry. Anywho, y'all, this is the end of part 1 of Alex Murdaugh's jailhouse phone conversations. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. The Truth, thank you so much for hitting the link. I appreciate it.
Is that Mad that's up here with us?
Yeah, no, that's Jizzle.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought I saw that.
Thank you, Jizzle, for hitting the link. Just I'm gonna text you when I get off here to see what's going on. But I'm praying for you, bro. But thank you so much for hitting the link, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, Trey, for hitting the link. And also shout out to the True Sippers State Gang. And also my moderators and my monetary contributors. Thank y'all so much for supporting this hashtag content that matters. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll be back at between 8 and 9, unless Trey decides to go live in the morning. But I'll be back in the morning between 8 and 9 a.m. for part 2 of this saga. Okay. With that being said, Trey.
Huh?
I saw a live for 10 o'clock p.m. Are you going live anytime before that?
I'm finna go to the zoo.
Oh, that's right. All right. Okay. All right. Take peeks.
All right, I'm thinking about going live tonight.
Oh, okay. Let us know.
I have to set it up with Miss Liz, but I'm thinking about going live. My normal time.
Let me know ASAP so I can know.
Yeah, 8 p.m. 7 Central.
Okay,
I'm thinking about adding aggressive beggars in my into my.
Oh, do that.
Yeah, and also, what is harassment?
Oh wow, great topic.
That's going to be my main topic. What is harassment?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you add stalking in there, or would that be another one? Can you add
harassment, stalking, the whole thing is going to be under one umbrella. Where what is actually harassment according to the law? And then I'm going to go through a couple of states. What a couple of states do. Gabe said he's going at 4 p.m. So a couple, what states actually consider to be harassing, stalking? What needs to be involved? We'll talk about those things. Me and Miss Liz will discuss it. It's going to be an open panel. Anyone could drop in.
That sounds great.
I know Trey will be taking a nap because Baby Petty's going to wear his ass out at that zoo.
Yeah, she might be actually asleep tonight when he go live. She go to that zoo. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Miss K. Thank you, Lachelle. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for dropping that link in books. All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. I gotta go because since Gabe is going live and also the Truth is going live, I gotta figure out what time I'm gonna go live for part. Is it part 2 of what I started? I don't know. We'll see. But anywho, I appreciate y'all. I really do. And I'll see y'all later on today. All right, y'all stay safe, blessed, and never stressed. And yeah, enjoy your day. All right. See y'all later. Bye you. Thank you. Bye, lovely. Thank you.